First reading. A reading from the first book of Maccabees, chapter 6, verses 1 to 13. King Antiochus, meanwhile, was making his way through the upper provinces. He had heard that in Persia there was a city called Elymais, renowned for its riches, its silver and gold, and its very wealthy temple containing gold armor, breastplates, and weapons, left there by Alexander, son of Philip, the king of Macedon, the first to reign over the Greeks. He therefore went and attempted to take the city and pillage it, but without success, the citizens having been forewarned. They resisted him by force of arms. He was routed and began retreating very gloomily towards Babylon. But while he was still in Persia, news reached him that the armies which had invaded Judea had been routed, and that Lysias in particular had advanced in massive strength, only to be forced to turn and flee before the Jews, that the latter were now stronger than ever, thanks to the arms, supplies, and abundant spoils acquired from the armies they had cut to pieces, and they had pulled down the abomination which he had erected on the altar in Jerusalem, had encircled the sanctuary with high walls as in the past, and had fortified Bethsur, one of his cities. When the king heard this news, he was amazed and profoundly shaken. He threw himself on his bed and fell sick with grief, since things had not turned out for him as he had planned, and that he remained for many days subject to deep and recurrent fits of melancholy until he realized that he was dying. Then, summoning all his friends, he said to them, "Sleep awaits my eyes, and my heart is cowed by anxiety. I have been wondering how could have come to such a pitch of distress, so great a flood as that which now engulfs me. I who was so generous and well loved in my heyday. But now I recall how wrongly I acted in Jerusalem when I seized all the vessels of silver and gold there, and ordered the extermination of the inhabitants of Judah for no reason at all. This, I am convinced, is why these misfortunes have overtaken me, and why I am dying of melancholy in a foreign land. This is the word of Lord. Thanks be to God. A reading from the Gospel according to Luke, chapter 20, verses 27 to 40. Some Sadducees, those who argue that there is no resurrection, approached him and they put this question to him: Master, Moses prescribed for us, if a man's married brother dies childless, now at the resurrection, whose wife will she be, since she had been married to all seven? Jesus replied, the children of this world take wives and husbands, but those who are judged worthy of a place in the other world and in the resurrection from the dead do not marry, because they can no longer die. For they are the same as the angels, and being children of the resurrection, they are children of God. And Moses himself implies that the dead rise again. In the passage about the bush, where he calls the Lord the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Now he is God, not of the dead, but of the living. For to him everyone is alive. Some scribes then spoke up. They said, well put, Master. They did not dare to ask him any more questions.